might show up. Oh, he's here right now.
Oh,
Let me add him.
perfect. Great. That's perfect timing.
Good, perfect.
Okay.
Right
Hi,
up the
Jay.
street,
How you
Jay.
doing,
How's
man?
it going, Jay?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Last
fantastic.
second, at the last second, Matt and I have just been chilling, and you're like, I will slide. I don't want to talk to them. I'll just slide in at the end.
Last time I checked, I was right on time.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Oh god, my quality on this is awful.
What was that, Matt?
Did it cut out again?
Yeah, you cut out, but
No, of course I did.
Were you talking?
I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Just talk
It's,
over you
it's
for the
not
full
your
stream.
problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
we're live, so I'll address the fact that we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. This beginning is a really good indication of what the stream is going to be like. We're just chilling. None of us have seen. Jay, have you seen the first episode? Are you
No,
on the list?
Well, some people have.
Oh no, I don't think I was.
Yeah, there was a list of the extra special people. None of us made the cut. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just want to make sure that you're not important like the rest of us. All right, so none of us have seen the first episode. We are all on the same page here. We're just hanging out, talking about the live action, expectations, hype, some things that we are kind of casting, concerns, whatever comes up. Very free form. So I wanted to ask, are y'all going to binge or are you going to take it slow? Matt was going to talk.
I was going to say, did I cut out?
Go.
Okay, I'm just going. I'm going. So the way I'm going to do this, I've already had it structured. Like, as soon as the first episode's out, I'm going to just watch the first episode and then make the video right after that, because I got to get that out like as fast as possible. And then probably after that, I will be doing nothing but binging the rest of it all day. So that day is going to go watch the first episode, film, and then watch the remainder episodes. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to do the first two because they said that the episodes are paired. Like the arcs are supposed to be every 2 episodes and an arc completes. But you can do one.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I'll do 2 then. Yeah, but whatever I got to do. Yeah.
You can do one at a time. I mean, you'll get more content out of it that way.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
Jay, what are you going to do?
So one, I thought they were gonna do it the way they've done with like Vinland Saga and all the other series, like 1 episode per time. So I didn't know they were gonna release them in bulk. So my plan was to react to each one at each time.
It's Netflix.
So I don't know how,
yeah, well, no, Vinland's Netflix too.
Yeah, Vinland is Netflix, and so is JoJo's. So I know they did that with JoJo's as well. They released like 1 part and then they released another. So I wasn't familiar with be coming out as like a bulk drop. So if that's the case,
no, we don't know. They've not actually said. We're just assuming.
Yeah, that's the way Netflix usually does it with their live action stuff. I'm assuming it is going to be batch, which is inconvenient for people making reviews. I'm just saying,
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
I agree.
They should be more considerate of us.
What am I supposed to do? Watch all 8 episodes and make a 5-hour video on the whole thing?
That's what Liam's gonna do.
Oh my god, he's insane.
Yeah,
I know. He said he's dedicating his whole Thursday to binging and getting a video out on Friday. And I'm like, Liam, you're gonna.
No, I thought about that. That's too much. That's an overload.
You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate the show by the end.
Yep. It's just that good, Murphy.
No.
I think it would be good. I'm gonna go arc by arc. If that's the case, if it's gonna be like 2 at a time, then I'll literally do a week for an arc and just go all the way to the end to at least stretch it out. So if people who just want the immediate reaction, they'll see it, but at least like everyone else who wants like in-depth analysis, people who really love the series, they'll probably take their time with it as well. So I'd probably go with the arc thing.
So I'm just gonna force you guys to use my method. Good. That's why I have you here.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of hoping if it's not set in stone yet, I hope it's weekly. If it is, that makes my job a million times easier.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, so okay, we should talk about this. Actually, I didn't introduce y'all, so let me do this first.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Teching. His name is Matt. He's a Teching.
That is a word that I invented.
He's the walking, talking encyclopedia of One Piece. And then we also have some rat that somehow forced himself on the stream. I don't actually know. How'd you get in here, Jay?
I'm honestly just creeped through the crevices. I smelled some cheese somewhere, so I kind of just found my way in.
It's so weird. I made a thumbnail for Matt and I, and then like all of a sudden you text me and you were like, I'm in the stream. And then you were just in the thumbnail. Like I didn't even plan that.
Weird.
It's so weird. Wow.
Yeah,
so
you're
this is JD Legend.
you're just some girl that's on the thumbnail.
Oh
I don't
my
even know who this
God,
is.
I
I just got a link from somebody. Jay and me were just supposed to talk about this. I don't even know why you're here.
And then
Yeah.
some chick showed up too. Man, so rude.
What's a Murphy? Okay.
What's up, Murphy? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Teching 101, JD Legend. They're both linked in the description of the chat. So I think I agree that not just for us as reviewers, but just for the fandom, it's better week to week, or at least batches like they did with Arcane, because then it keeps the series name in people's mouths rather than just like 1 week of explosion of talk and then dead.
Yep.
Didn't that Jay, you would probably know, with Stone Ocean when that was released. I think the overall, like, people didn't talk about Stone Ocean as much because it was released in batches rather than, I think it would be better if it was weekly for that series.
If it was weekly, it would have been better. And a lot of people were angry about it. And then they split it. So they released in a batch of 15 and then another batch of 15 and just destroyed the hype of the show.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
And it was really good. Like I was one of the people that like I started it and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I dropped off for like 7 months completely. And then I finished. I'm like, wow, I should have reacted to this. This is really good.
Yeah. Now for JoJo's, like that was like 30 something episodes. You know, this is only 8. So it's like, you know.
I feel like people have lives now too. Like it's not COVID anymore.
I don't.
So
I live in this room.
Okay, everybody but Teching has a life. So like most people, I mean, it's better to have that like, oh yeah, it's Thursday. That means it's One Piece day instead of, oh yeah, I got to get back around to that. They're all just sitting there for me to watch.
It does sound preferable. And I mean, I'm doing like the Bleach is back too, the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, and they're doing it weekly. And that's just, I think that's just the best way to do it. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. Even when they take the breaks as well, which I do think they should incorporate just to give fans more, you know, because they're doing that with JJK season 2. While they're releasing it in batches, there's like, all right, well, we're going to give you a few filler episodes before we get to Shibuya, the real meat and potatoes of the whole thing. So yeah.
I finally dedicated, by the way. I'm like, all right, I got to sit down and just read all of Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't gotten caught up. I've read like 2 volumes. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
That's what the Zoro actor said was his, it was Sanji. It was Taz.
Skylar, yeah.
Said it was his favorite.
I think I got all of their, Par, hey man.
That's my nemesis. We are mortal enemies.
You have like a whole
enemies of Par
here, and I don't.
Oh, I remember. I do remember the beef of Par. Okay.
Do you remember what it is? Because I can't remember why I have a grudge against him. I'm just holding the grudge.
Something in the Reverie. I don't know what it was. I think it was about kicking puppies or something. And then
puppies. That's my beef with you.
My beef, me. You kick puppies. I have no beef with you. You have beef with puppies. That's the thing.
I have kicked 0 puppies. Purring men once that people.
I know. You're too wholesome for this stream. You don't fit in.
All right, bye.
I can see Tekken kicking a puppy.
Oh, really? Is that?
I can see it.
He seems like a puppy kicker to you.
Yeah, just a one-time thing. He would never do it. Yeah, you're freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, you were frozen for a bit there. We couldn't hear you, Matt.
All right. Can you hear me now? Okay.
We can hear you now, yeah.
I tell this story about one time I didn't kick a puppy, but I kicked this big praying mantis when I was a little kid. And I just thought it was like, oh, it's a big praying mantis in the street. And I just kicked it and it flung like a football. And so many people don't let me forget about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Praying mantis kicker. It doesn't roll off the tongue quite.
It does not, but people don't let me forget about it.
Yeah.
No, we'll get you up to the puppy level eventually.
I saved so many innocent bugs because that praying mantis was huge. That thing was like the colossal titan of these insects. And I just saved the day. And there's like, oh, you're so mean.
That's it. Okay, back to the thing. Cast, how are y'all feeling about the cast so far for the Straw Hats?
I'll let you go, Jay, because I'll probably freeze up again.
So I've grown to love the cast a lot more. I mean, obviously I supported them, but kind of getting to know them more and then seeing their love and joy for the series.
You were not on board at first, were you, Jay? You were really hesitant.
I was hesitant for sure at the very beginning, but mainly that was more of my hesitancy towards live actions in general. But I think after seeing the full preview and I saw how they were doing it and how the actors are going to play the roles, I'm like, okay, I can see the investment in what a real life Sanji, a real life Zoro looks like, because I didn't know what they would look like. I only know what the anime version looks like. So when I see it on screen, I'm like, okay, so this is the route they're going. It's like more textbook, dry humor, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. I can see that with Usopp. I can see that with Sanji. And then, obviously the interviews, right? Like seeing Inaki Williams play John Cena before he gets on the set. To me, that kind of won me over. I'm like, all right.
The interviews are gold.
Yeah.
All the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, so I like them. I do.
So you're all in.
I am 85% in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Matt, where are you?
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you for now.
All right, good. All right. So, yeah, I was with Jay at least a little bit in the sense of like, I have no idea who they're going to cast for the Straw Hats. Even after they were cast, the only person I recognized was Emily Rudd because she was in Fear Street. So I knew her from that, and I'm like, okay. And then I like looked up. I know McKenyu was in the Rurouni Kenshin live action, and he did some really cool stuff there. Iñaki I'd never heard of before. But yeah, after just they really made sure to show us a lot of videos of the cast just hanging out and the camaraderie they have. So it was pretty early on that I realized, like, okay, the Straw Hats are not going to be an issue. The first 5 Straw Hats are fine. They're going to be okay. And we can talk about casting with other ones later, but I think the casting is not going to be an issue here. I think for the most part, it's been an issue with live actions before, but never usually the major issue. This seems to be taken care of, though.
Yes, I agree. And I think a lot of times with live actions, and I admittedly probably haven't seen as many as y'all have, but a lot of times it seems like they're trying to be the characters, like trying to embody that anime feel. And they seem to be trying to harness the spirit of the character, but bring their own kind of vibe to it, which I think is essential for this actually working. Like, I remember the Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was hilarious. They were really trying to be anime characters, and that just does not work.
It comes off silly.
We lost you again, Matt.
Okay.
But whatever you were saying,
I will be right back.
Okay, that's fine.
Robotech is my favorite tech.
Jolly says teching is an old man killer. So that's cool, I guess. I don't know the context around that one.
Yeah, it's got to be some lore that we're missing.
I think the behind the scenes stuff, though, like seeing the cast interact and stuff, makes me root for it that much more. Like I guess I was kind of like you, Jay, where I was like, yes, this looks good. This looks like it could be something, might have its issues, 85%. But watching the behind the scenes stuff made me fall in love with the cast and their chemistry so much that I want it to succeed just so we can get more of them.
Exactly. And especially like I want a season 2. I think the thing I want more out of anything from this whole series is a season 2. We have to go deeper.
Yeah?
Like I want to
Tell
go
me
in
why.
Alabama. Like because if it succeeds and we get a season 2, one, it means it was serviceable, even if it wasn't amazing. It was like a minimum 5-6 out of 10. Not to mention, the people are working on it. That more people have viewed it. And on top of that, there's potential for more actors to come in, right? Imagine someone who could play Crocodile. Imagine someone that would play like Doflamingo. Imagine Marine for live action. See what I mean? Like when you never watched Game of Thrones. Oh God, you know what? You just make it so easy, right? So you
don't call me out on my own stream.
Sorry, I have to. You do it on my
You
channel.
can bully me on your streams. On my stream, I bully you.
That does not work that way. All right. You haven't known she has not watched Game of Thrones. So when I'm talking about
my chat. That's my chat. I'll talk to them. Chat. L's for J.
L's for J. I'll take the L's, but I'll finish my point at the same time, right? I'm saying imagine that we get Marineford, and you think about like really famous large battle scenes, large battle fantasy scenes. And Game of Thrones is the Battle of the Bastards, right? I'm sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to say curse words.
No,
here, my bad. No, getting something like that, but for One Piece would be incredible. Like it would be absolutely incredible. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm so distracted by the L's in the chat, but it would be so incredible experience. Oh, look at that. That's probably my rats. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, that would be Battle of the Blackwater Bay. Like there's so many examples of large scale war and fantasy shows in live action that if we can get to things like Alabasta, remember with the revolt with Koza and King Nefertari and everything.
Do you remember that? Yeah, I remember that.
Just throwing it out there. But imagine that, right? That would be incredible. So that's why I'm hoping if we can get
Luffy?
a season 2.
Matt, do you remember Luffy?
Luffy? Yeah, I think I've heard about him a couple times.
Yeah.
Jay's over here. You remember Crocodile? Do you remember there was a battle?
No, I said Koza. Koza. No, not Crocodile. Not Crocodile. Koza. You remember Koza?
Okay. Yeah. I've heard
so
of
my
Koza.
point, so taking my point was
some large scale fights.
Yes. So like imagine Alabasta, the whole revolt, but in live action. If we get a season 2, that would be incredible. Same thing with Marineford and other series, right? Because we're not going to get there with the arc that the live action is going to cover up to this point, right?
Oh no, we will just be up to the end of East Blue by the end of episode 8. Yeah. I think because we see the scene with them like hitting the barrel and being like, we're heading to the Grand Line. That'll probably be where season 1 ends.
So I agree with you, Jay. A war, like a large scale fight, will look amazing with this fight style that we have. However, I think we're going to get a taste of it in the first season as well with Arlong Park.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are. We'll get a bit of that.
Yep. It'll be a good one, I think. I'm really excited. I saw Recon. I lost him. But he said that he agrees that it was seeing the cast together that sold him. Teching, we have a super chat for you. What if Luffy read the newspaper? You asked. Okay, you're gonna make me say the word. You asked the undulating question. What opposite of dramatic irony is as a writer? I can inform you, it's called intrigue. Sorry.
Okay.
It just made me stumble.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I remember this. So, yeah, I can't remember the exact context there, but I was like, what is it called when the characters in a series know more than the reader? Like, for example, like Yonko bounties, like everybody in the One Piece world should know what the Yonko bounties were before we found out. Okay. Like something like that. And so I think it was just dramatic irony, but reversed. And then I think that person is just saying, oh, it's called intrigue. I'm like, oh, okay.
So are you talking about like knowing Roger's bounty this early on?
Yeah, like that. Like Roger's bounty really shouldn't be like everybody in the One Piece world should know that. Even the civilians should know that. It was just not a secret for us for like to be a big reveal.
Right. Yeah, Oda just likes his shock, but that's a good point. Same with there's certain bounty posters that we see that are kind of spoilery, knowing that okay, this is gonna be. But I guess we should know these. So then how did Luffy... This causes problems for me. We also have the question, are we going to watch dub and sub?
Yeah, I'll probably switch back and forth between the two.
I think I'll be dub only.
I'm probably going to be dub only.
Yeah. I feel like
I'll be honest, what I'll probably do is watch like a scene in the dub and then be like, oh, I want to see what this is like in Japanese and just switch it over to that really quick, watch the scene and then go back.
I'll definitely watch a couple scenes just for the experience of it. But a lot of people have an issue with Iñaki having an accent that's like not a Japanese accent.
See, that's the thing about this. It's like Luffy is voiced by women in every single anime adaptation, one of the two major ones, English and Japanese. So
I think there's only one where he's voiced by a man.
I don't know all the different, voice actors for him, but like, so, and this happens a lot in animation, like Bart Simpson is played by Nancy Cartwright. Like that's just how it is. But in live action, that's not going to work. So, here he goes. I think it's
unless you get a kid to play him.
Yeah, and it's going to be fine. And I've actually saw an interview with Iñaki, and he even mentioned like his Spanish, when he talks in Spanish, it's a much deeper voice.
Yeah, I saw that.
So when he goes to English, he has to like bring it up a little bit more. So, yeah.
I think he's perfect. I actually really like that they're letting them all keep their accents and not trying to have this universal sort of thing, because I think that adds to how big this world is and how many different cultures come into this world.
Yeah,
it fits absolutely, because that's One Piece. It's like there's so many people, cultures all over the world in the various islands. It would make sense. Everybody would have a smattering of different accents,
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
There's even people from the same areas anyway with completely different accents. Like how many people from the East Blue, and there's people in their own island that have different accents. Like to me, as far as I'm concerned, accents should never be an issue when it comes to this.
Accents should not be an issue, and just let the actors, go ahead with it. Who knows? Sanji's from the North. Maybe everybody in the North Blue has a British accent, or who knows?
Or a Jersey accent from 4 Kids, right?
Yeah,
Stop
let's
it,
do the Jersey accent.
North Jersey.
No.
Like I said, didn't Taz? I could have swore Josh from Volume 1 told me Taz liked the Jersey Sanji as well. I don't know.
He does.
Maybe he did. I'm not sure. I like Sanji was my favorite character in the 4Kids dub when I was a kid. Like I remember liking Sanji. Yeah.
Murphy thinks it's insane that there's people that love the Jersey accent. To me, it's the best part of all.
I was a kid at the time.
It doesn't work. A big part of what makes Sanji great is how suave he is when he's not simping.
You think he can't be suave with a Jersey accent?
Exactly.
The accent was not suave.
As far as I'm concerned, I've seen Jersey mafiosos be really suave in a suit. Sanji had the same accent. So as far as I'm concerned, you know.
I'll be straight up with you. When I was a kid watching the 4Kids dub, I wasn't even thinking about stuff like voice acting at the time. I was just like, oh, that's his voice. Okay. Like, I wasn't even sitting there like, oh my God, that's a weird voice for this character. Yeah.
Yes, but most fans of One Piece live action are going to be adult children who are noticing and picking apart every single detail and being like, I'm 30 years old. Let me tell you what I think about his gum fruit.
Oh my God. So the guy that did the 4Kids dub version of Sanji, his name was David Moo. And he was he's a bartender. He owns a bar in Brooklyn. And I have a feeling that he just did that voice as kind of like an exaggerated voice, and somebody he knew had connections, and that's how he got the job. And he's like, just do the accent, it'll be great. And he's like, okay. And he went in and he did it, and it was a paycheck to him. He never really read the manga or anything, you know? So yeah, they told him to do it and he did it.
Oh my God, a Brooklyn bartender. That makes so much sense.
Like sense now, right?
Tekken, thank you. You've literally just made my day. Like I'm a bigger Sanji fan today because his voice actor was a Brooklyn bartender.
I'm gonna die on this hill.
How does Tekken know this off the dome? How do you not know this off the dome?
But now I know.
We've got a couple of super chats.
All
people just shouting at us basically.
Yeah.
And then thoughts on the recent critic reviews.
Yeah, you and I were talking about that earlier. They're all pretty positive, and some people are worried that like, oh, well, those are the critics, so they're maybe paid to be positive. But remember, the critics for Cowboy Bebop, the early releases for that were pretty overwhelmingly negative, and it did turn out to be negative, the show. So here we are with a positive for this. I'm going to go ahead with that.
So I didn't get a chance to see the critic review. I mean, I saw bits and pieces of it from Twitter. I'm assuming you're talking about the Twitter post, or is there an actual like article?
There have been people who have seen it or who've gotten early access to the first episode and have given their reviews. I assume that's what they're talking about.
And was this the one where they say that it feels like they didn't really capture the essence of One Piece in it? Because I know there was one earlier.
Oh no, that was not a thing. That was a while ago. That was a thing. Ago. That was a while ago, and I don't even think that was a real review. I think that was
I think that was just nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were saying stuff. It was some random Twitter account that was like, the first episode's horrible, and the Straw Hats don't show up until the last 15 minutes, and it's just like, no, from what we've seen so far, that's not true.
Yeah, it was basically just rage bait. It was nothing.
Yeah, it was rage bait.
Well, I mean, what was you guys
romance possibilities?
I think because
I hope not.
I mean, okay. If somebody has never watched One Piece before and knows that Oda doesn't do the romance thing, you might be watching this and see a scene with like Inaki and Emily and Luffy and Nami and be like, oh, is that where this is going? Or Taz and Emily, oh, is that where this is going? I don't think we're going to go that way because Oda wouldn't allow it, but somebody new coming in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I could definitely see if you don't know the context of One Piece, wondering I think actually I did early on when I didn't know the context of One Piece and first started reading. I was like, oh, are Robin and Zoro gonna get together, when it was like really early stages of that? And then everybody was like, no.
I mean, Robin and Frankie clearly are the perfect
couple.
That
was before I knew Frankie. Everybody loves Robin and Frankie.
I'm a Robin and Jinbei man. I don't know if anyone.
Oh, me too, Jay.
That is cute. That is cute.
They have some for real chemistry.
They do.
Exactly.
I guess Robin's just gonna marry everybody.
She's into polyamory. Okay, like that's all right then.
I volunteer as tribute.
She can literally make clones of herself. There you go.
reaching dangerous territory.
No, she makes clones of herself to get married to each one. We're keeping this.
Yeah, that way she exactly.
You're
But the
right.
question
You're right.
is, who gets the real Robin?
They're all the real Robin.
Okay, never mind. We're not going down that road.
But no, we're not going down that road. But no, Odo, this is very much overseen by him. He's not going to be like, yeah, in this version we're going to do romance. Obviously, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I very much agree with that.
Luffy is married to adventure, and that's how it will be.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we know that they have to cut stuff because it's only 8 episodes long for 12 volumes. What do y'all feel can be sacrificed and keep that cohesion and keep the spirit of the story? Putting aside the people that'll be mad no matter what gets cut.
Oh yeah,
just talking about what'll work.
Yeah, I talked about that. Like, if you're somebody that's going to be upset, like Usopp doesn't have his nose or Sanji doesn't have his eyebrow, like you're going to hate this. You're going to hate this. You're going to hate everything about this because you're going to nitpick everything. That's just how it's going to go. But I saw one version, like I didn't see anything, but somebody was talking about a way they can maybe change things around. When Don Krieg arrives at the Baratier, they might, because Arlong's going to be at the Baratier too. We saw that in the trailers. So what if it's a thing where Don Krieg shows up and Mihawk arrives, takes out Don Krieg, and then brings him back to the government because he's a warlord. That's kind of his job to do that. And then after Mihawk leaves, then Arlong shows up, and that's how they conclude that arc.
Oh, I actually love that.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
It's funny because when you brought up Don Krieg, I was wondering what they would do because I was thinking, right, do they get rid of the whole Gin thing in general, Gin and Sanji? Because I know that's an important moment for Luffy and Sanji, but do they cut that out and make Sanji join Luffy for another reason outside?
I feel like they could manufacture that moment without him.
You could figure out another way to do that. Like Gin, I don't think is casted. I didn't even know if Don Krieg was casted. He is, but I didn't see a cast for Gin. No.
Right. So they probably take that out. And a lot of the other side, like is Helm Eppo, is he been casted?
Yes, he's in there. He's in the trailer.
Yeah, he looks great too.
Yeah.
So
speaking of, I actually think that I don't know how to say the dog's name. Choo Choo.
Chow Chow. Yeah.
Chow Chow. Yeah. I feel like he could be cut. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Chow Chow.
Because you hate dogs.
She kicks puppies. It makes sense. Wow.
Oh my God.
I love Chow Chow, but I do think that he could be cut if we have to make cuts.
They should cut Chow Chow.
Yeah. So Gaimon's gonna get cut, unfortunately.
I knew it. I knew the chat would hate me for saying that.
Gaiman? Is that what you called him last time?
Shut up, Jay.
Oh, what? Really?
I don't watch the anime. It's not my fault that I'm dyslexic. I didn't know how to say Gaiman's name.
There's so many different. There's so many. I've only read I don't know how to pronounce actual characters' names, and then I say it, and people are like, "Where did you come up with that pronunciation?"
How dare you! I am offended. I also thought that Liam brought up a really good point about Arlong, because I think that Arlong looks amazing, but it is a bit weird to go full on fish, except for his body is still pretty humanoid.
In terms of like his size, because Arlong is really tall. That's a thing. Yeah,
it makes his body look weak. He should be taller. He should be more imposing.
I wonder if they could fix that in post in some way. Yeah. I don't know. They might be able to.
Even his saw just looks like it's more powerful than he is.
Yeah. Now I get it, and it's only going to get worse from here because we're going to get giants in Little Garden and actual.
Well, I'm sure they'll make the giants giant.
Yeah, sure, but then eventually, so that might be something they might take a note for. Like, okay, we can't really change anything about Arlong now; he's already been done. But coming up next, we will take care to Whitebeard's character, who's huge, something like that.
Right. I think it's a mistake though, because Oda messes with scale so much to not mess with scale in the beginning and then all of a sudden start scaling people like Whitebeard, where it's like, okay, the fish man looked like a man, but this man looks like a giant. Like that's going to confuse people.
It might be. That might be something they do change, and it might just make casting and the whole production easier as well. Yeah.
I do love the Arlong actor though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay, what were you
he's
saying?
perfect. Yeah.
Oh, you're good. No, I mean, more on the Arlen thing, I think. When I first saw, a lot of people were worried about the CGI and how they would make the Fishman look. As far as I'm concerned, for a CGI Fishman, I think they've done like it's 10 out of 10. Like the moment I saw Arlong, I'm like, I feel it, right? And even in the voice actor, because Arlong in the anime, it's like his voice isn't really scary, but it's like more intimidating. When you hear Arlong in the live action, it actually feels like a horror film. Like he sounds like nefarious.
He does.
I think they're going to take a different take on Arlong, and instead of having him be this guy who has his own nobility for his own Fishman, I think he's going to be a straight up villain. I genuinely believe it.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know if I'm sure there's going to be some CG elements in what they do him, but I think most of his outfit costume is practical. And with most of the Fishmen, I think.
Okay. Most of his outfit is practical. Is that what you said?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's like practical effects, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not CG. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can really see him acting through the prosthetics on his face. Like I can feel him. I think that there couldn't have been a better Arlong actor. We have some people saying that they feel pretty convinced that we're getting a season 2. I really hope so. Because what we've seen so far, I mean, obviously we all hope so, except for the haters, but what we've seen so far looks really promising, and there's going to be some stumbles like there is for season 1 of any show, and I really think that they can clean it up in season 2 and make it something really, really special if they keep going.
Can I ask you a question, Murphy? What would be something that you'd be willing to forgive even if it wasn't good in the show? Like something that you'd be willing to concede? Because like an example could be like, I don't know, really cheesy lines and stuff like that.
That's interesting. I feel like you already have an answer to that question.
I think we talked about it already in terms of just skipping through and the pacing. I expect it to be extremely fast paced, so I could accept that. In terms of the lines, it is a kid show, you know, at the end of the day, so I expect it to be cheesy. And, you know, me being a 30-year-old man, I'm sure that there will be some things I wouldn't be able to laugh at for real. But I think more so, I'm actually willing to give some leeway to the lack of realism for some of the kicks. Like so with Sanji and some of the stunts, right?
The ropes.
There will be a time where you can clearly tell they're on ropes, right? Like
interesting. You can in the trailer. You can.
Yeah, so it's the Sanji kick, right? That first Sanji kick where they're fighting off the fish. I'm like, that is clear rope work. But some people look at it and be like, "Oh my god, it's garbage." I think I'm willing to.
Jay, I'm some people.
Oh, you're some people. You don't like it.
I'm some people. I have very few complaints at the moment, and that's one of them.
I think I can forgive it. I think I can forgive it just because it's a fantasy. I'd be willing to forgive it as long as it's not too much.
I think that's beautiful, and you should talk me down when I'm going to call you screaming, and you just be like, Murphy, it's okay. Because I'm a hypocrite, because I look at Zoro run sideways on a wall, and he's clearly on ropes, and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then I see Sanji come out of nowhere, kick someone into the water, stop midair, and then gracefully fall down. And I'm like, no.
That's not how physics work.
Garbage. 0 out of 10. Show fails.
You know what it is? I think for me, it was just the way that when he kicked him, he just instantly stopped right there and landed. I'm like, no. Like instantly, I'm like, nah.
You just don't know how to kick people, I guess. I mean, Murphy would know, but yeah.
Clearly, I've never done a flying kick, because that's obviously the way it goes. I think, okay, so to answer your question, Jay, what's something that I'll forgive? I think there's a lot of CGI stuff that I'll forgive. Matt and I were talking about this before we went live, but I feel like they could lean into the fact that this is a comic and this is rubber, and like it should look a little bit rubbery, like him throwing a punch and stuff like that. It doesn't need to look like flesh stretching, you know what I mean? So I think there's some things that you could nitpick that I'm going to say, yeah, but fantasy, and that'll be something that I can forgive pretty easily.
Okay.
Matt, do you have something that you feel like, I'm going to forgive this if this doesn't look flawless?
Oh, what? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. I don't even hear me right now because it's on the screen.
We can hear you, Matt.
All right. There it goes. Okay. I'm being very open about them changing plot elements in the show because I understand not everything could be the same. So if they're going to go ahead and change something, because like, all right, we're not going to be able to keep the same character, the same exact scene, but we're going to have something that's equal in terms of what the effect will be, then I will be okay with that. I will be open to that. I'll be like, all right, like let's say they remove Geen from the Baratier, but they had another scene that was just as emotional. I'm going to be at least open to, all right, how does this work with this change? You know?
Yeah. We have somebody suggesting, Brago said that Don Krieg could be merged with Jing,
Maybe.
showing up seeking food after running from Mihawk. I like that plan as well. I'm really okay with them merging and rearranging things to make it work. Expectations for possible cringe, high or just typical anime live things?
So
That's
like,
a really good question.
the first episode, I'm literally going to be on the lookout for like cringe moments, and I'm hoping there's not a lot of them. But I'm going to be looking out
cringe
for that.
though? Is cringe like leaning into the fact that it's comic, or is cringe, ooh, you did not nail that vibe?
Okay. There's a couple of scenes in the trailer that, and they're mostly seem to be from Mackenyu as Zoro, where he's basically being a little meta, breaking the fourth wall with like anime tropes. Like there's the scene where Luffy's like, all the great fighters call out their finishing moves, and Zoro's just like,
no, they don't.
No, they don't. And then there's another scene in the trailer where I guess Luffy's talking to people while they're fighting, and Zoro's just like, stop talking. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a running gag and how that's going to work. Is it going to be funny or is it going to be cringe? We'll find out.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm already sold on that. I'm like, yes, call out, because if they don't call out their finishing moves, then people will be like, that's key, that's core. But if they do it, then everybody else will say, well, why? That's stupid. Why would you do that? So doing it and then acknowledging it. Go ahead.
I like the idea that at first no one's going to do it except for Luffy, but Luffy's been out training in the wild his whole life. And it's like, guys, it's cool. Shout out your finishing move. It sounds cool. And then slowly Zoro and Nami and Usopp and everybody were like, actually, that is cool. Because if you had anime powers, like if you could shoot lightning out of your hands, wouldn't you come up with cool names and like call it out?
Yeah.
Right? Like, why wouldn't you do that? You know?
100%.
Yeah, I want to see. Yes. So we already have confirmed that Buggy does it. So I want to see Luffy turn to Zoro and be like, see?
He does it.
Confirmation.
Can we talk about Jeff Ward as Buggy? I think that might be the best casting of all time. Like, it's incredible.
I love.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay, actually, Matt, take it away. I need to turn on the light in this room.
Fantastic. Okay. She just leaves. She just left us. What the hell, Jay?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Listen,
all right.
If I have to stand up and walk across the room on the internet, I'm going to take that off of the internet before I go.
The mother version of Murphy just came out, and like I felt like I just got scolded like immediately.
Oh, I'm just saying. Go ahead, Matt. You were supposed to be talking.
Yeah, I was talking technically. All right. Buggy. Okay, I forgot my train of thought there for a moment. Every scene in the trailer he's been in, I've loved the way Jeff Ward has delivered his lines, where he does he's like the chop cannon. I'm like, that has some power to it. But then also in the most recent trailer, he had a line that's just like, I think we just skipped right to the finale. And I'm like, okay, that works too. Like the way he's enunciating this, it works. And it gives the impression that he's a showman, but he's also an insane clown pirate. So there you go.
Yes, agreed. And we've got like some horror vibes from him, like that one that really close in while he's laughing. It's like a psychotic clown that can be cut to bits and not feel a thing and attack you.
Yeah,
that's horrifying. That's
horrifying.
I never really put that together.
There could be a scene where like in the I get it. Okay. You never put it together.
He's not even trying to be funny.
You're not even trying. There you go.
Don't give him credit.
I did a thing.
You did a thing. I could see a scene though, like, and it happened in the anime where Zoro cuts him up. They might not do it to that level, but dude, can you imagine a scene where Mackenyu just goes up to Buggy, cuts off his damn head, and is like, "Oh, that's it," and then the head just like gets up and is floating and turns? That would be terrifying.
That would be so cool. I would love that.
That would be amazing. Okay, but is Luffy gonna kick him in the crotch?
Oh, absolutely. That has to.
That's like one of the best panels of East Blue. No, I agree though. I think that Buggy by nature should be horrifying, but because of who Buggy is, it's like you have to walk that back a bit. So I like the idea of him being introduced as this really, really terrifying threat. And he is our first big competition, so he should be a threat. And then as we get to know him better, we see the kind of like showman and goofy side of him. I think that it looks like they're going to nail Buggy.
I think they are too. And I think there is a good model for Buggy, but less psychotic and less evil. Obviously, it's like the Joker, where one moment he's like really, really evil, and then the next moment he's just cracking really corny jokes. And I think they'll do that, but to a lighter element and add the children element to it. But I think that's the formula. It's like, it's right there. I think it's easy to do. And I think they've shown it. I think they showed it with the first preview of Buggy with the smile and the golden teeth and like the nastiness of the smile. I was like, ooh, I kind of feel that. But then at the same time with Chop Chop Cannon, it was scary, but it didn't seem scary. It kind of seemed childish in a good way, not in a bad way. When you saw the Chop Chop Cannon?
Yeah, the Chop Chop Cannon, I actually thought was kind of like trying to put it in the perspective of if you're there and this guy was actually doing this, that would be terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In the moment, it would be, yes.
But it didn't look terrifying to you. It looked goofy to you.
A little bit, if I'm honest. But right. Buggy's always been that way, and that's how I've always perceived him. So I don't think it's a bad thing. That's how I interpreted it. If someone that's in
yeah, I think taking that scene out of context and showing it isolated amplifies that kind of corny look to it. But if we have the full context of the scene, then it could kind of draw you into the intensity a little bit better, potentially.
Yeah.
We have... Ooh. This is actually not a kids show. I heard it got TVMA.
I mean, that's awesome if it did.
Is that the case?
It should not be a kids
action
show.
That we have, that would make sense.
Yeah, it shouldn't be made for, like, this should not be TVG. You know, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it shouldn't. Yeah. I was thinking it would be TV-14.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking they would go for. But if it's MA, then, I mean...
MA is...
That's like, mature.
It's mature. So, the violence, I guess, would be the main thing.
I think so. Because I doubt there's going to be a bunch of language or anything like that.
And then, Dog Creek comes in and he just starts shouting every profanity in the book.
And then strips down, and we've got the nudity too. Just rips his clothes off.
So apparently the testing it's plus 16 or TV-14 in the USA.
Okay.
Awesome.
It has some teeth then, you know.
I think
the scene where Roger's executed, he's just like, go out to sea and find my effing treasure. Like, that's how it happens.
That's how they got the mature rating, is that line right there.
To be fair, right? And I did just check, it's TV-14.
Nice.
I would love if they started cursing as pirates, because that's what pirates did. Like, cursing was just second nature to them, right? Like, Roger should be cursing. I left a effing One Piece, you know, in the Grand Line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cussing everybody out before he goes out. Like,
kill me, you sons of britches.
Okay.
I need that.
I'm fine with them adding some pirate language, but the true Roger, you know, Matt, you made a video on this too. Yep. The original Roger
Henry
actually
Avery?
said those lines. I'm sorry, go ahead. What'd you say, Matt?
Oh, wait, no. Are you talking about the actual Pirate King from, like, history? Or
Olivier?
Oh, no. I thought, like, the guy he's based on really existed in our world. You know?
You're thinking of
Henry Avery.
Henry Avery. So, okay, so I actually disagree with you on that, Matt. We can fight about this. I think that he's based off of Olivier, not
Olivier
Avery.
Lavastar. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Because Olivier is the one that had the thingy-madingy on his neck.
That is true. He's maybe an amalgam. He's an amalgam. Can we meet on that?
Think Avery. No. I think Avery is the seat of the Pirate King. He's the personhood. I think that Oda based the Pirate King title off of Henry, but there's nothing in Avery's story that lines up with Roger's story like there is with Olivia.
Other than the fact he managed to obtain the highest bounty for piracy and took out a ship and the most treasure in the entire world.
Everyone took out a ship. There's so many.
He took out the ship.
No. There's so many pirates that took the highest bounty or that took the highest prize and recorded his bounty. No, you don't know. So anyway, Jay, like I was saying, Olivier is...
Where did he go? Where did he go? Did you kick him out?
Kick me out!
I knew it. I was like, there's no way she just did that. I can't believe it. I'm the chat. I represent the chat because I had no idea what was going on. No. I'm just like you, chat. I don't know what's going on, but then I saw Tekken get kicked, and I'm like, wow. Now I'm supposed to be a rat. I'm supposed to be a rat.
Disagreement with history. That's not how. Oh my goodness.
I don't believe in equal speech. I hold the microphone in this chat.
So, okay.
You sound like a girl say. You sound like a girl say, Murphy.
Damn, yeah.
What was it? What was it that Garcia said?
You know what? She's
She treating you like an insect.
You're the one who claims lineage of the celestial dragon.
I don't claim it. I just have it. There's a difference. But anyway, Tekken, I'm shocked and appalled at what Murphy did.
I am appalled and shocked as well.
I just can't believe that. Like, this is unreal.
I feel like
Listen,
I'm not afraid to do it. I will finish the stream on my own.
I will be a martyr. Chat, like I said, if she kicks me out, just,
This is why I offered to host this, so that I could kick people out that disagree with me. I want to room of yes.
Artur's in the chat. Teching 101 never existed. I never did. I just get eradicated. I'm done.
That's right. That's right. We've got some ancient left weapons in this chat.
E. Murphy, Sam. I see you. Yes. She has Murphy Nerona. I like that. That works.
Nerona. Yeah, there it goes.
Do you have any thoughts on how far you'd each want the series to go? Either all the way to current, or if you personally would like it to stop. Okay, so I think we all would like it to just go as long as it can, eh?
I don't know about you. You made a new enemy. Thank you. You expanded your enemies now.
Dude, I like collecting enemies.
Yeah, you're good at it.
I'm the one YouTuber that Matt has beef with now.
Yep, the one.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. This is great.
Well, what was the question?
Okay. I don't remember.
I would like the live action to go as long as it could, assuming that it's good. But if it has to stop, what do you think would be an appropriate stopping place? What would? How far do you? I'll word it this way: how far do you feel like it needs to go to be given a fair shake?
At least to the end of Alabasta.
Yeah, I agree.
What happens after that?
Yep, I'm with him 100%.
I agree. I think that Skypiea could be really, really difficult to adapt.
Mm.
But Alabasta, as you were saying, Jay, that wide scale fight and the larger scale of stakes as well, with Crocodile and everything that he's doing, an entire kingdom being at risk. Sorry, the chat's distracting me. Teching never existed. Sorry about that.
Mother flame.
Definitely thought that statement was going in a different direction.
Yeah. It used to just be the undulating jokes. I just used to throw that into a video every now and then just for the memes. But,
I know.
We're going overdrive with that now.
That's why I have beef with you for real.
I'm just throwing undulating in every video now. It's going to be at the end of every video. I'm just going to say the word. Yeah.
So can I get an explanation of this undulating lore? So what is this?
I don't know. Daniel Green just told me she finds it funny to use the word, so I use it a lot.
Sweet. Daniel put you up to this?
He didn't put me up to anything. He just told me, and I'm like, oh, I can run with that. Okay, cool.
No. I just don't like the word. There's a lot of that word shows up in books all the time, and nobody uses it in real life. Nobody uses it out in the wild. Just
I use it all the time.
Just authors trying to be smart, and I don't like it. So I've declared war against it. Matt declared war against me.
We all have a pet peeve kind of thing, word or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's yours?
Okay, it's not a word, but I get really annoyed, and I realized this recently when this is gonna sound very specific, but just roll with me on this, okay? I get really angry when people refer to wasps and hornets as bees. I get very upset over that. I've discovered, okay?
Matt, that's gonna be really hard for me to work into videos.
No, exactly. You can't touch me with that, but like.
Yes, you can.
Dressed as a wasp and call myself a bee.
I got into an argument. We were at a county fair a little while ago, and there were yellow jackets everywhere. And there was one on the table, and I'm like, "There's another one." And there was an old lady sitting at the table eating a sandwich, and I said, "Oh, there's a yellow jacket," and she's like, "It's not a yellow jacket. That's a bee." I'm like, "No, ma'am, that is 100% a yellow jacket. That is 100% a yellow jacket." She's like, "No, yellow jackets are bigger." I'm like, "Ma'am."
So there was something said earlier in the chat about Tekken hating old people. I think we've just done the origin story. There it is.
That's from a D&D character I played. That's why I have the hat. Actually, my D&D character on Rustage's channel. You know, he did 60 episodes of One Piece D&D, and my character killed a lot of old people in that.
Was it just like targeting old people, or it just happened?
I mean, okay, honestly, my character didn't kill that many old people, but people just rolled with it. I killed like 4, and
I killed like 4 people. Why are people mad at me about it? You killed 4 people, and all of a sudden the world's like, "Oh, you're so mean."
And you know what? I want to correct that right now for everybody that was a fan of the One Piece D&D. They're like, "Man, you guys murder hobo every now and then. We're pirates. It's pirate D&D."
I get it. The
Jay,
retirement.
Jay admitting that he's
how do pirates act?
We've already got it. Like the retirement hunter techie. We got it. I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, that's that. Is
it possible that we're gonna skip Warlords? Do y'all think we're gonna skip Warlords?
No. There have to take all the Warlords. If they get up, they have to be all included. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, skipping them in the first season, sure, obviously, but. I think that would be kind of detrimental.
I'm really the most excited for if it does well, and then how they're going to tackle season 2, because all the special effects are going to have to up for that.
For what? I'm sorry.
Special effects, because of all the different islands they're going to go to in the Grand Line. Yeah, like
do you think they're going to skip certain islands and try to combine things? Like, for instance, Little Garden. Are they going to build a set for Little Garden? Or
I hope they do. I hope the budget gets to the point where they could do Jurassic Park level stuff.
I think they're going to skip Little Garden. I think they're going to skip Little Garden. I don't know why. I just have a feeling they're going to skip it.
So you think they're going to skip Little Garden, or that you think they're going to take Dory and Broggy and move them somewhere else?
Either move them somewhere else, or just skip it in general and introduce Baroque Works at Whiskey Peak. And then go to Alabasta. It's either that or they skip Whiskey Peak. It's going to be one or the other. I don't think you would do Whiskey Peak and Little Garden.
I feel like that is going to cause, because Oda's whole thing is like, this has to be as perfect as possible. And if you start skipping arcs, then that's going to be an issue for him, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like if we get in the early season, in the early, like East Blue and Alabasta, if we get every single island, and then I think it'll feel like we're speed running, because they can only do so much.
Yes. And these are hour-long episodes.
Yeah, like 45, 50 minutes. I don't know if they're going to be a full hour, but yeah.
Okay.
Let's say we have to skip an island. Just one. Which one are you?
Oh, man, that's tough.
Wishing.
I mean, process of elimination, I guess it would have to be Little Garden, because Vivi's old stuff happens at Whiskey Peak, and then Chopper at Drum, and then we just go to Alabasta. So yeah.
Okay, but if we skip Little Garden,
they did it in the 4Kids dub.
They did, and it's like you only get Mr. 3, Mr. 5, Mr. 5,
Mr. 5, Miss Valentine, Mr. 3, Miss Golden Week. Yeah.
Yeah, the girl with the painting thing, her?
Yes, yeah. Her name is Vaughn.
So I think here's how they can skip Little Garden, because at the end of the day, it's like introducing Baroque Works in a way. People say if you skip Little Garden and you skip Chopper, I mean, I'm fine skipping Chopper, but that's a different story.
Oh my God. You just
like write him out of the live action?
Just write him out of the live action. We don't need him. Why? What do we?
Yes, there's no way Oda would let fly.
Just get a normal doctor. Like, you could just get a normal guy, right? Like, you know.
Karina instead.
Get Crocus. I mean, oh my God, right?
Crocus would just break the whole system and just be like, okay, well, we could just.
I know what the One Piece is.
Yeah, I know what it is. I can just tell you.
Yeah, just that's it. Just have him hang around like.
That's what Ray tried to do. Rayleigh tried to do.
And also, I feel like Crocus's humor in the anime translates so well to live action. Like
running gag joke. Yeah, that is pretty funny.
That is so funny. Like they're just looking at each other, and he's just like, "Yo, please don't kill me." Like that's it. Oh, that would be so funny.
That would be good. And I mean, we can still have that.
I really hope we keep Zoro's violent outbursts. Do you think we're gonna keep kind of the Luffy Zoro dynamic and not Luffy? The Sanji Zoro dynamic and Zoro violently being mad at Crocus in that scene. Like, are we going to keep that stuff?
I mean, definitely from what we saw with the trailer, there's going to be a Zoro Sanji rivalry early on in Arlong Park. That's definitely there. Bickering. That's beginning. That's where it starts, though, Murphy. It starts with bickering, and then pretty soon you're trying to kill each other. That's how it goes. You know.
That's true. That's true. And I also wonder how far are we going to take the simping for Sanji?
Okay. Taz, I think, has talked about this, and he's like, yeah, that's part of Sanji's character. So he's going to flirt. We even saw that in the trailer.
We saw that in the trailer.
But a lot of people said he had a lot of riz with doing that. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know.
So is he going to turn into a charmer instead of?
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, pre-time skip Sanji did have a bit of riz. Just a little bit. He had a bit of riz earlier on, especially East Blue Sanji, right?
Because when he's introduced, absolutely.
Yeah. He had some riz, right? It's post-time skip and near the end where it kind of tails off, but I think it'll do it as he'll have riz, like your textbook riz, but Nami's literally just going to be like, haha, and laugh it off the whole time. Yeah. I think that's the best way they can meet the best of both worlds.
We're going to ship them so hard.
Oh,
like even One Piece fans are going to be wishing for the Sanji Nami.
I mean, that I would ship that. I mean, if I didn't know the whole series, I mean, like Murphy, whenever you pick up like a fantasy novel, I mean, like, aren't you always kind of like, okay, who's going to get together when this one? Where is this going to go? You know?
Well, I'm not the one to ask because I have a cold, dead heart, and I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. I'm not a shipper. I know. I wish I was less me, but
it's not even shipping at that point. It's just me trying to get ahead of the author.
Trying to get ahead of me.
All right, okay, I've read 20 pages of this. There's a, okay, are these two getting together?
Okay, Techie, who did you ship in the first law? Go ahead and tell me who you shipped.
I just finished the second book. Thank you for telling me that. For asking me that. Who did I ship? Jezal and Artie obviously were set up for that, and I'm just like, okay, well, they're gonna get together, but I don't. There's so many horrible people in this series. I don't even know anymore.
Yes, Jay. Yeah. I recommended a book to Matt, and he read it.
Oh, I knew
it. Magical, right?
I knew I wasn't gonna escape. I was like, oh god, Jay City. I remember.
I don't have it. What was that?
What did you recommend?
She recommended Jade City because she heard I love mafia mobster movies. So.
You told me you love it. What do you mean I heard it? You went on and on about it.
You did hear it. I do love them. I'm just providing the actual, the context of the story. I'm a notorious reader where it comes to I'll read like the first 3 chapters and just never pick it back up again, even books I like. Mm-hmm. So just give me some time.
That too.
A couple years. Yeah.
It took me a long time to get through, like, even Mistfall, which are not long books. I would read a couple chapters and then for 4 weeks and then come back to it later. I can't. Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So, totally. Murphy, did you watch Ratatouille?
Did you?
No way. There's no way.
You have.
There's no way.
I watched it with Matt. I came over to Techie's house and we watched it together. I've seen it.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that happened. Sure.
Did you see the nerve of her to give me? Oh my God, we have evidence of her saying she'll watch it, and she used her son. She's like, "I'm gonna watch it with my son." How could you? Oh my God.
Anyway, so Coco Man says that if they kill Pal permanently, then instant 10 out of 10. I agree. That'd be great.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a second opportunity to kill a lot of people that should have died early on in the story.
Yes, there are certain deaths that should have stayed dead, and this will be. There's no reason not to do it in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the music in the live action show will be similar to the anime?
So they did. I can't remember her name, but she shared a lot of videos. The person that's the composer for this on the official Twitter.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she was doing a lot of like, okay, here's like overtaken from the anime and her composing like on the piano, like how to bring that into the live action format. So yeah, they are basing it off of that. I'm assuming there might be some originals. We'll see where that goes.
Have they released the soundtrack yet? Has that been released?
Well, let me do a quick YouTube search and find out.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything. So we have someone saying that Tomorrow Studios has at least 3-season contract for the show. So are we promised through Skypio?
Oh,
that would be crazy.
That would be awesome.
That would cost a ton of money to actually build that set. But I mean, if they nail Skypia, my God.
I mean, you got to understand they got
money.
They got a decent amount of money for season 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
If this does well, I don't think money's going to be an issue. This is going to be their pet project.
Yeah.
So
the marketing has been insane for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really, I'm not even going to lie. Like just how much they kind of try to tap into the community itself, like the actual YouTubers of the community. It's like they really want to market this to every single One Piece fan possible. And they're doing a great job. They're doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
No, I completely agree. And as we all said, it's the behind the scenes stuff. It's the cast stuff that's really won us over. Like they're doing their job. So it would make sense if they had 3-season contract already.
That's what I'm saying. Like each episode's getting, this is $150 million for the first season, says some random person that they have their credentials. But dude, if this season does well, season 2 has an even bigger budget. You do Jurassic Park Garden. Maybe you could have that effect. You know, that's a lot.
Yeah, that would be amazing if they already have all that.
Jurassic Park One Piece would be so cool, man. I'm not gonna
lie. I'm excited for season 2 because Jamie Lee Curtis basically already confirmed season 1 I'm going to be Dr. Kureha. 2 and Dr. Kureha.
They did do that. Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yes, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
I hope did they actually cast her?
She talked to the people, and I think the arrangement is if season 1 goes well and they get a season 2, I'm pretty sure she's locked in to be Kureha. I want her to be Kureha so bad. Yeah,
she's perfect for the role.
Yeah,
she would be perfect for the role. And then to add into Kureha as well, like so with Chopper, right?
Yeah,
CG. I'm curious, how could they do it? Because I've only seen one version of Chopper CG.
Ahead, I know.
It's horrific, right?
It's going to be like Appa from the original Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it a long time ago.
I spared myself.
Okay, well, the CG animal that they made was cursed. Like it was demonic. So
a lot of stuff in that was cursed. Yeah.
Okay, so someone in the chat brought up a really good point. Detective Pikachu and how they made Pikachu look. That could be a good blueprint for like making Chopper because Pikachu
Sonic, the original Sonic that everybody loved.
I was thinking maybe if they wanted it this way, because Chopper different forms, you could do a thing where you just make his hybrid form look more human, you know, like, so his hybrid form it's not a completely CG character. It is a human actor with makeup and prosthetics.
I feel like that could look,
it could look cursed. Really, it could look really bad, but it could look good. I'm not sure. That's leaving a lot of faith. Yeah.
The Beauty and the Beast live action, they did all right with the Beast.
Which one? There were so many.
Yeah, I was about to say this. Yeah, that was
the one in the French one from 2014. I've seen that one.
Emma Watson.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. No.
Have you seen images of the Beast?
I've seen a French live action version of Beauty and the Beast. Yes, and it was lovely.
Okay.
I recommend it to you actually if you haven't seen that one. It's really
good. Another movie that I'll watch.
That she'll definitely watch 100%.
That one I'll go over to Jay's house and we'll watch it, and he'll vouch for me.
There you go. Exactly.
Clear line.
Doesn't skipping Little Garden affect a lot of Usopp's character, like his lies coming true and his dream to become? Yeah, I don't know if you can skip Little Garden. I don't think you can. Like it's either all or nothing. Can. This is what you do.
No, we could superimpose that stuff in Enies Lobby.
like way later. I don't know. I feel like, hey, they decided to sit down with Oda back in 2016 and be like, hey, we want to do a live action One Piece. They, I feel, talked about this. Like, how are we going to do Skypiea? How the hell are we going to do this and this and this? And I feel like if they couldn't do it, they wouldn't even bother. So we'll see what happens. You know?
There's precedent. There's precedent for everything.
They couldn't do it. They wouldn't even bother. That's totally the mantra that's been true for Hollywood.
100%, Murphy. How'd you know? You don't watch any movies.
Shut up! Don't call me out on my own screen.
Excellent tagging. That was fantastic.
Wow. You people, do you hear this, chat? They're being mean to me.
You people.
I'm perfectly pleasant, and they're both being mean to me. More excited to see Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark, if we were to get to Thriller Bark, would be impeccable. That would be probably one of the easiest ones to adapt.
That would be great. Yeah.
I feel like we could even combine that one, like combine that arc with another, because it wouldn't need a full season all on its own.
I feel like they're doing a pretty good job, like in Buggy's case with the second episode. So that arc took place in the whole town. They're kind of running around. They kind of condensed that to the tent, but they make the tent look really good. You know what I mean? So they might start like, okay, we're not going to have a whole town running around, but we'll have a set, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Thriller Bark. Yeah.
Well, I mean, with Thriller Bark, they could just rent out a mansion and
have a mansion in a creepy forest and a graveyard, and that's kind of all you need.
They can do a lot of cool stuff with Thriller Bark.
They just go to a haunted house and they'll be okay. They'll be set.
The only thing that
go to one of the really cheesy ones.
I guess the only thing that would be difficult is the size difference of Moria and then Oars, right?
Yeah.
How they would make that work, that would be interesting. So that's actually a good point. Like the size difference of characters. I think you talked about that with Whitebeard, but like Luffy actually fighting giant characters. I know we're not going to get the whole cake, but like imagine Luffy fighting Katakuri, right? And like how
exactly how weird would that be?
It was so wacky to see it, but it worked out.
Like with like Whitebeard, you could get away with it by just hiring like a really tall actor, someone that's like 7 foot tall, something like that. And with maybe a little CG makeup costume, you can make him look even bigger than that, like really imposing. But when you're talking about characters like Oars, he's like 70 meters tall. I mean, you got to do something with that. You know what I mean? You can't just have him.
But I feel like we've done giants in other shows. So characters like Oars and Dorian Broggy don't really concern me so much.
What's a show that did giants really well? I'm trying to think.
No, don't make me have receipts. Just accept what I said.
Okay.
I was going to say something, Tech, and I was like shows, movies. But
I'm thinking. I know that Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black. I'm like,
let me make baseless claims.
So I was thinking Game of Thrones, right? So Game of Thrones was the first thing I thought of when I thought of giants and how they did that.
They weren't that big though.
But they're not that big, and that's the thing.
But I think that we could do that with One Piece. We don't have to do Oda kind of scale. We can do just larger than what's normal and still get the point across.
That's true, but like Oars is huge. Like he needs to be huge. That's the whole point. Or
why does he need to be huge? Tell
because
me
it would be intimidating if Oars is like, oh god, this ancient giant. He's 10 feet tall. Oh god, he'll destroy the world.
They could do practical giants. They could do like taller than the world's tallest man, but not by a large scale. And I feel like that would work.
That would work for Dorian Broggy. I don't think it would work for someone like Oars. Yeah.
So technically, we do have an example.
Because Oars is the continent puller. He's supposed to be this giant threat that all the Straw Hats had to come together to beat. If he's only like 12, 13 feet tall, that just really doesn't work, Murphy. Right. I'm sorry.
Mickey Mouse, it's a Mickey Mouse giant, basically. Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
So they do have an example, right? They have an example, and it's Peter Dinklage in, I think, Infinity War.
Oh yeah, when they made him
and how massive he was. That is an example. They could do that.
That's a good one, and they could just make Oars like King Kong. There you go, perfect. That's actually perfect. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, and I'm a King Kong fan. Kong over Godzilla.
I just want to put this on the screen. I don't even know what it's in context.
I just agree. You're just putting stuff up. Okay, that's just agree.
I just like the comment. I just think it's a good one.
Just propaganda.
As long as they keep the zombie skit from Thriller Bark, I'll be happy. Yeah.
That's a mandatory.
They love this series too much not to do key moments like that.
Dude, they should just get Michael Jackson's Thriller over that, because that was the scene it was based off of originally. And I love the song in the anime, but Thriller to that would work perfect.
It would work perfect.
Yeah.
Is there another arc that you... Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm just seeing in my head the live action version of a zombie coming out and Inaki just dropping everything and slowly walking and just like trying to put him back down in the grave. Like that would translate so well in the live action.
That would be flawless. That would be easy to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think they're going to do a lot of foreshadowing for future seasons? Like, because the idea is, even if they don't get picked up for a second season, I think they will be. But even if they don't, it's like, all right, let's throw some foreshadowing. And they kind of already did with Cavendish and Bellamy's like wanted posters. Is there going to be more of that through the story, do you think?
I'd be surprised if there wasn't.
Yeah.
I think if they, especially if there's a 3-season contract, like one of the commenters said there was, then they would have to, like, in order to give it the best shot to show that this is such an intentional series. But if they don't have that contract, then it would be kind of difficult to do that because you need to make it feel like it's had some closure.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's good for fan service. I don't think it's like not doing foreshadowing to the point of like setting things up. Like at the end of season 1, you see a shadow of Whitebeard or something, like nothing like that. But like, I don't know, you see a newspaper, and on the newspaper, the headline reads like Vegapunk. Like, what? Oh, what's that? And it's like, oh, something like that. I think they're going to be doing a lot of, you know.
No, I agree with that. I very much agree with that. So the video, both with Iñaki talking to Oda as well as talking to the original voice actor, both had me weeping, like pitiful. I'm a 30-year-old and I'm crying over this nonsense. But I love how much the original voices of One Piece and the creators of One Piece believe in this. And Oda saying, "I'm glad you were born in time to play Luffy," like that killed me. That broke me.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. And him tearing up when Oda said that he was the perfect one for the role. It was amazing.
That was so precious. That was I love that. It
really was.
I love that it means.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say? I can say it afterwards.
The actor for Zoro, I've forgotten his name.
McKenna.
Thank you, McKenna. McKenna, when he saw the hat pass off between Iñaki and the original voice actor, and he was like, "Are you kidding? What?" Like Zoro, I mean, McKenna never reacts. Like he's such a stone-faced guy. I loved his reaction to that.
Dude, I just love the scene in that interview when Inaki walks into Oda's house and Oda's just like, "Inaki!" And then they like hug. And I'm like, oh, that's so wholesome. I love that.
It really is.
You know,
it really is. Jay, did you watch it?
So I was actually gonna comment on that. So I am the type of person where I hate previews and I hate getting any. I want to go in completely unaffected. Like the preview is something I had to do as a content creator. I'm like, all right, I can do it, right? But in terms of like the interviews and all that stuff, like I've seen clips, but I haven't seen the whole few interview because I want to go in completely unbiased and enjoy. I'm just that type of person. Like people watch like behind the scenes of Game of Thrones and explanations of the show. Like I don't do any of that. For me, it's like raw.
I mean, I respect that, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm too weak for that. I got to go and watch everything. I got to
see it all, and I got to see it twice. It's just, I love it so much. And Jay, okay, again, Matt and I were talking about this when we were waiting on you.
Oh, he was here pretty quickly.
No, I want to pick on it. But the cast, they embody their characters even when they're not, like in the interviews and stuff. They're so similar to the characters that they're playing. It's so fun to watch them interact.
Have you seen the Wired interview they did, Murphy?
Probably. Which one was it?
It's the one where they're sitting around the table answering like 50 questions about One Piece. Yeah, that's a cute one. I like that one. Yeah.
And Emily answers like all of them.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
McKenna definitely knew a lot as well. She's just always really quick to.
They got one wrong that I noticed, but I didn't say anything. I was like,
well, they had like the buzzer. They said because it was the Celestial Dragon one, right?
No, it was the one where they asked, "Is Jinbei a Straw Hat?" And I think Emily was like, "I think he's an honorary Straw Hat," and I'm like, "Nah."
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was the only one though. Yeah.
He hasn't exchanged sake yet, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
have they still not done that?
No. What do you mean, Jay? This is what you do. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What I do?
Jay, wait, stop for a moment. You mean to tell me Jay, do you have friends in real life?
No, that can't be.
No, I have no friends. No.
And you exchange sake. Okay, though you don't exchange sake with your friends. I don't even drink alcohol, and I still do that. You know.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's the only way to be friends.
I haven't ever had a friend, so I've never had that experience.
Oh my God.
We're just a bunch of lonely people with no lives. That's what I'm hearing.
Just a bunch of losers.
So they're like, I have no friends. And just walks. Huh?
Well, the thing is like, as far as I'm concerned, I know they stopped the party because they were about to do it before they went to Onigashima, right? I remember that with Jinbei, or like right when they landed on Onigashima, but they halted it. I thought they did it afterwards, right? That's what I thought. Maybe they did it off screen.
Maybe they did it off screen.
Maybe they did. I'm not sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. The chat seems to be on my side, so I don't know.
It's been some time since then. I feel like they probably would have done something like that. It's kind of weird if they did it now. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It was like, oh wait, yeah, we forgot to exchange sake. I'm like, what reason would they stop everything?
Oh crap, we forgot about that. We have to do it now.
He's almost on his way. Oh shit, we need to
supposed to at the post Wano feast, and nobody showed up. Jinbei is sitting there waiting to exchange sake with his pals, and they're all.
I remember that scene. Jinbei, I love.
Like, I'm so excited to become a straw hat, and they're like, we've got stuff to do.
Jinbei is like the respectful like father of the group. He's like, okay, you spent all this time to make food. I'm not gonna leave. That would be rude. And then at Egghead, I love how he got the Hawaiian shirt and he's just walking around like a kid at like he's the dad with kids at like an amusement park. I love that. It's great.
I do too.
Yeah.
I agree. He's perfect for the dynamic of the
I love how Oda even because he used to do the thing like the family members of the Straw Hats, like if they were a big family, what would they be? And Frankie, he was originally listed as the dad, but after Jinbei joined, he's like, okay, I'm changing this. Jinbei's the dad. Frankie is the perverted grandma now. Just like, okay,
perverted
that works.
Grandma?
Too. I think he said perverted grandma.
That is crazy. Oh my lord.
That's so cruel.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any, other than a couple of nitpicky things that we've mentioned, do you have any true big concerns?
Let me think.
Things that you think could potentially be a problem or could potentially not be executed
live action
well?
is always CG. I think the nail in the coffin for most live actions are usually the CG. If it doesn't look right, and then it's just you're ruined. So from what I've seen so far, the CG looks good. It's just going to get more and more crazy as the series goes on. So they're going to have to do more stuff with it. That's the one thing I'm a little nervous about.
Mm-hmm. Jay?
I would second what Tekken is going to say with the CG. I mean, for me, I know Brago, I'm calling him out, but that's what I do. Brago didn't like the CGI of the Sea King at the beginning. I personally loved it. And it was
really?
Yes, it was better than I expected, actually.
Why are you nodding? Why are you nodding, Matt? Do you not like it either?
I like it. I like the Sea King.
Oh, we loved it.
Okay.
I like the Sea King. Do you not like the Sea King? Who here doesn't like the Sea King?
Did she mishear me on purpose? Is that it? I don't know. I feel gaslit. I don't know.
I thought you said Brago. Hold on. Let me plead my case. I thought you said Brago didn't like it, and then Matt was nodding as if he agreed with that take.
I think I might have said I agree. I agree with Jay, not Brago.
He was agreeing with me, not Brago. Yeah.
Listen, if there's an opportunity to pounce, then I must pounce.
I mean, if Brago was here instead of Jay, I would agree with him and not you. But that's just how it goes. I mean,
exactly. That makes complete sense. I would have done the same. Honestly, you know what? I lied. I didn't like it. The
it
CGI
looks like a giant sea monster. I liked it. Yeah.
Why am I getting bullied in my own stream?
I don't know.
I did nothing to deserve this.
She did nothing, chat. Remember that. She said she did nothing to deserve
She did
this.
nothing, miss. I haven't seen Ratatouille yet. There's
no proof.
And she owns the moniker of Rat, but she hasn't seen the Rat movie.
With you, Matt.
Wait. Yeah.
Matt, you've seen Ratatouille, right? Yeah, he's not paying attention. He's like, nah, I'm not here. Nothing happened.
Wow, the ultimate betrayal.
Ultimate. Matt, you've seen Ratatouille, right?
I saw it in the drive-in with my mom when I was like 14.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I still remember the songs in the movie. Yeah.
So many good songs. It's a beautiful movie, right? Fantastic.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Best
thing. One of the best movies I've ever seen. I feel like if somebody hadn't watched it, if somebody you knew didn't watch it, what would you say to them? especially someone that you told to watch and then did not watch it after your recommendation.
It's the most romantic movie between a man and a rat that I've ever seen in my life.
That sold it. Watching it tonight.
It's a good film.
This is a B movie all over again.
It's such a good movie, though.
Y'all are concerning.
We're concerning. Okay, hey, that's fine.
Yes.
I'll take it on the chin.
I think there's a lot of songs in Ratatouille, but there's one like Italian, like Dori Adora, and I just like
exactly. I know the one you're talking about. Oh,
I like the part where the man turns on the rat and
kills him as it. Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
Oh, my God, you have seen the movie. The movie, yeah, like he just rips the hat off and the rat's there, and somebody grabs a knife and just stabs it right through the rat.
Now that I'd watch. Oh, I know.
It's French, not Italian, whichever.
Oh my Lord, that's funny.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's
well, I'll watch that movie.
funny.
But a family portrayal. You are determined to keep me off track, Jay. Okay, the one concern that I hold is I think that there's a fine line that they have to walk between being that goofy and like going all out, doing the full elastic punch, or Sanji flying out of nowhere and kicking the guy into the water, like going for it. But then also, how far do they lean into the gags? How far do they lean into this, as you were saying, Jay, this is fantasy? And then, or was that Matt? Who was saying that?
I don't remember.
One of you two. One of my enemies was saying, this is fantasy, so it's fine. And how far are they going to lean into that? Or are they going to make it seem practical? And then if they do, then I think that could make it harder for me to suspend my disbelief.
Yeah.
Y'all don't struggle with that.
I feel like there's a double layer barrier here with the gag stuff, because number one, you're dealing with manga to anime to live action, which is a barrier there. And there's also a cultural barrier, because what, the audience in Japan might find funny is not internationally funny. One thing that they are going to dial down a lot, and Jay brought it up, was Sanji being like literally like drooling at the mouth whenever he sees a pretty girl. Like, that
you don't think they're going to do nosebleeds?
I don't think they're going to do the nosebleeds, like where he's like literally just drooling like that's a pretty lady over there. I'm like, okay.
No sniffing Corona's bum?
Does that happen? Did I just block that out?
Yes.
Oh,
in the anime,
Sanji, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Dial that down for one thing. Another gag that works a lot in a lot of shonen manga is like the main character eats a lot. I mean, that might get a little. Well, you can make some jokes about it in the live action, but like, come on, that's not going to be funny.
Yeah, you can only do so much.
You can only do so much with that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the gags, like basically what Tekken is saying, they're just going to translate it into universal humor. I think Zoro's gag is probably one of the only ones that can probably stay the same. Just him getting lost in general. I can see that
fine.
being
that's applicable to things. Yeah,
Nami being money hungry. That would be funny. That would translate funny, right? Usopp being scared. So it's really just Sanji. If we're really going to be honest, Sanji's gag is going to be the main one. And then if we do get to Brook, then,
Brook has a lot of gags, though. It's not always the anti stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. If they do translate Sanji's simping, if they translate that to him actually being suave and Nami just isn't really interested in him, but it actually it comes off as Riz, are y'all good with that? Because I'd be fine with that.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% okay with that. Even if Nami finds it like she's not really interested in Sanji in that way, but she finds the flirting kind of like maybe a little endearing, it's like, okay, sure. Fine.
I mean, she could use Nami already kind of manipulates him with that.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah, she could flirt back just to get him to make her the meal that she wants or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and that would be a good way to play into it. But I also think part of Sanji's gag is his protectiveness towards women to the point of not to the point of white knighting, but to the point of like making a fool of himself.
It is chivalry. I mean, like
it is chivalry.
It is old school chivalry is kind of what he's brought up on. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, it's the gag. Speaking of it as a gag, like it can go so far that he ends up looking a fool. And I think that they could lean into that side of it and if that could work out. And then also the gag of his instant rage at Zoro, I think can translate really nicely.
Yeah. Frankie's going to be problematic when we get to him. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. How are we going to do that?
Well, that's a problem for season 5.
Frankie with a Speedo. My Lord.
You could do a thing where it's like, well, he's a cyborg, so he doesn't really, he doesn't have the equipment. It got changed out. There you go.
What are they going to have to, are they going to have an editor whose only job is to CGI out the bulge?
They can't have
Matt, are you saying you want that to be somebody's job?
You
know what? No, but now that you said it, sure. Yeah. Give Frankie booty shorts. There was somebody made an edit of this years ago. So they didn't make in the 4Kids dub. They didn't make it up to Frankie, obviously, but they did somebody made a fan animation of what 4Kids Frankie would be like. They made him sound like Arnold, and it's just like, oh, look, like this one is up in the air. And then they edited crappy shorts on him, and like it works. Just look up 4Kids Frankie. It's hilarious.
Jay's into it.
I'm into Russian Frankie would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would actually be the equivalent of Jersey Sanji. I'm actually certain of it. Like I'm envisioning it now. Him saying "super" in a Russian accent. You know what it reminds me of? Have you seen Deadpool 2 with
the second one? No.
So but you've seen clips with like the giant metal guy. What's his name? Someone in the chat. No, not Cable. It's like Colossus, I think.
Maybe.
Whatever his name is. Yeah, whatever his name is, because the chat will explain it to me. But you hear him talk, and he's like this giant brooding metal man in a Russian accent, but he's also like a really sweet guy. So he's like Colossus. He's like really, really intimidating, but like a really sweet Russian man. That would be Frankie.
He was in the first Deadpool, right? I remember him from that one. Yeah, I think he
was. He in the first Deadpool?
I think he was. I remember him in the first one. I only saw one Deadpool movie, and he was in it. So
yeah totally, definitely.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he was, then yes. So that I want that for Frankie.
That would work. That would work. Yeah.
That would work so well.
Yeah, Frankie's American though. Yeah, but you can change some stuff around. He could talk Austrian or German or Russian. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, just give him a nice little Eastern European accent. I can deal with Serbia. Like, yeah.
I do kind of like the idea that Oda did give nationalities for all the Straw Hats, and they kind of kept that with the casting. That was nice. Yeah.
Agreed.
That means Robin will be Russian. There you go.
Is Robin Russian?
That's the nationality Oda gave her in our world.
I can see.
You think they're going to lean into that?
Maybe. I don't know. They kind of led into that a little bit with the casting so far. So we'll see.
That would be interesting. Yeah. A Southern Robin. I don't know about all that.
I'm a Southern Belle. Get it? Because she wore a cowgirl hat.
Just because she wore a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yes, Southern Baptist Robin. I need that. Yeah, I kind of need that.
Her voice actress in the 4Kids.
She's gonna start preaching randomly in the middle of the season.
Oh, absolutely. My Lord, sweetheart. Yes.
Oh, my Lord. I'm a Southern debutante.
I'm a Southern belle. Yes.
She's gonna see Kuma with his Bible, and she'll instantly fall in love.
Oh, I love it. Kuma in the Bible. That's probably one of my favorite gimmicks that Oda's ever created. Is this giant bear-looking man always holding a Bible? To me,
yep.
It's just fantastic because he's like, his nickname is the Tyrant. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know if you guys have read Berserk. Murphy,
yep.
I haven't.
You're thinking of Mosgus? Mosgus is one of the most toxic existences I've ever seen. He actually kills someone with a Bible. I'm like, that's so
boom over the head with it. Yeah.
Oh, everything. So for me, I love Kuma for that. So I need Kuma in the live action like expeditiously. And I would say I want Jason Momoa to be Kuma. I'm just throwing it out there now.
Let's do it. Jason Momoa is Kuma.
Jason Momoa is Kuma. Yeah, I want that.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. That would be an interesting casting.
So many interesting casting. And also, I feel like, I mean, if this does really well, this could open up with the MCU where like every single A-list actor is going to end up in One Piece at some point. That would be wild.
That makes sense. That's my dream.
Cool. Okay. Good.
I want Denzel Washington to be Sengoku. I know it doesn't make sense.
No, I think that's fine.
Murphy, you're looking a little shocked.
No, I just don't know anybody's name.
Oh my God! You don't see movies.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I can't participate.
You know who Denzel Washington is, right?
Or Sengoku? Which one are you?
Wait.
Hold on. No, I know all these people. I know everybody. I know everyone.
Murphy,
are you Googling
please
Denzel
don't tell
Washington?
me you don't know who Denzel Washington is.
I know him. I know him. I know that guy. I totally have seen him.
Okay, so
hi
Jay. Hi Jay.
I can't do it. I can't.
That I know. Okay, so how are
Jason
you guys
Momoa,
going to be posting content for the show?
Jason
Are you
Momoa
posting
might be
reactions?
Kaido. That would be cool too. Yeah.
Yo, I can't. Yo, I can't do it. Yo, there's no way. There's no way.
I know him, Jay. I know him. He was in. Hold on.
He was in.
Wasn't he in the phone booth? That was a movie. I don't know.
Hold on. I know I've seen a movie with this.
Yeah.
As like the biggest Denzel Washington fan ever, I'm just taking so much damage. Like my HP is at red. I can't take it.
Oh my gosh, you'll get over it.
Danny Trejo as Kaido.
I know he's been in something I've seen. I recognize his face. I can hear his voice. I just don't know what I've seen with him.
Have you seen The Book of Eli? Have you heard of that?
I have not seen The Book of Eli.
A Training Day, Man on Fire, Flight.
Deja Vu.
American
I've seen him in
Gangster.
Deja Vu.
I think I've seen Flight. Yeah.
Flight with a Drunk Pilot. Deja Vu. That is one.
Yeah, I've seen Deja Vu.
John Q.
No.
I feel like you would love John Q. I think you would love John Q personally. Equalizer. Yeah, Murphy. I think you would love John Q personally. I mean, there's times, but it's fine. Yeah.
Unstoppable, I think I saw.
Yeah, Remember the Titans, Great Debaters. There's so many.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, but it's okay.
Danny DeVito as Hogback. I think that's a good casting choice.
That would be a good one.
Or as Gaimon.
Gaimon, if they decide to bring Gaimon back, and like he's not in season 1, but he shows up in season 2.
I'm trying to.
How are y'all planning on?
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I just that super chat. We dodged it because Jay was throwing a fit. How are you planning on posting content?
Okay, I'm gonna watch the first episode when it comes out on Thursday and make my review almost immediately after, or maybe the first 2 episodes. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm just gonna do, watch them as I watch them and upload them when after I'm done. I mean, that's the best way. I don't have a set schedule yet, but I'll get the first one. The first episode will be out Thursday. Absolutely, 100%.
Jay.
Definitely going to be reacting to the episodes for sure. I think I'll probably do episode to episode. I'm definitely going to do an overall review. But for the most part, it's going to be reactions and probably like maybe 1 or 2 videos kind of summarizing everything that I enjoyed and then talking about it with a bunch of people. But that's really the major plan. There might be something else. Who knows? We'll have to see.
Yeah. I'm similar to you, Matt. I'm just going to be, I'm going to watch the first 2 episodes on Thursday and then have that review up on Friday. And then I'll probably do weekly. I'm going to force the series to be weekly through my lens.
Yeah.
And just do 2 episodes a week until I'm done.
I'm debating whether or not, like, if the episodes literally drop at midnight on the 31st, to just watch the first episode or 2 before I go to bed that night and then just wake up and just get to it. I might just do that.
So you're just going to watch it through one time and then film a video?
I'll probably watch the first episode one time myself, just in my living room, and then when I'm downstairs actually maybe preparing for the video, I'll go through it again and just write some notes down or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that when it comes to reacting to the series, if you have any of these scenes, like I've done anime reactions before, and if you edit it a certain way, Toei will only probably just claim it, so you don't make money off it, but that's fine.
I'm not going to show.
Do you think they're going to be more aggressive about that since it's a Netflix show?
Maybe. Netflix is
rough.
Yeah, I'll probably just keep to using maybe still shots from the trailers that are already out, and maybe not using screenshots from the actual episode, just to see, because I don't want the first one to be taken down,
Yeah. I'm probably just going to be doing screenshots, and I may even just put them next to me, not even taking up the whole screen.
That might not be a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and probably not any within the first like 5 minutes of the video.
Yeah. I do have the idea of what I'm going to do for the thumbnail, though. I'm not saying anything. I'm not telling you.
Okay, tell us when we go off.
Sure, I can tell you when you're off. I have an idea what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Jay, it's a lot harder for you because you're a reactor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you could maybe do like a blur over it, do you think?
I could do a blur. Normally what I do is I just have the volume low and I have a lot of opacity, and that's worked for me in the past. But I think with this, it's going to be different. Plus, I've done a live action reaction before.
Yeah.
I mean, I did Invincible and I did Arcane. So that kind of worked for the most part. What I could do, they didn't get me for Arcane, but they got me for Invincible, unfortunately. Okay. So I kind of just gave up on that front. But what I could do is I know a lot of reaction YouTubers, they normally just film a 8-9 minute review and reaction to like specific portions and scenes. So I tested it out. I know you probably haven't seen it, but are you guys familiar with the show Euphoria?
I've heard of
it.
Yeah, I did a 8-9 minute review to that, but I actually reacted to it and they took it down immediately.
Wow.
I'm talking about
really?
They were on it. Wow.
Yeah. So like,
you've done trailer reactions. Have you not had any pushback on those? Because you just show the whole thing.
I just show the whole thing, but they just get claimed. So for me, I don't care about the money personally. I don't. So for me, it's like as long as they don't block it, for everyone can see my reaction, that's fine. I'll just put it out there and it's good. So I'm hoping that would be the case with the live action, but in some cases they generally just block it because it's like a preview is one thing, but the actual show, they're probably aggressive with that.
With the 1,000-Year Blood Work of Bleach, I literally take the whole episode, I mute it, and I would just scrub through the episode as I'm talking about it. And sometimes I would move through the episode so fast, it's like kind of like movement, and that would all the time. So I basically just added a filter, and then I tweak the opacity so it's only like 50%. There's like a background thing, so that kind of bleeds it a bit. So you have to kind of mess with it a bit, but I'm not going to try that for the episode of Netflix. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think reacting to this could potentially be really tricky.
Yeah, you don't want to piss them off.
Yeah. I think the way you're planning to do it should be good. I wonder, does it if you get claimed where you're not making money, but it's still out there, does that not hurt you in the algorithm?
No, actually, I found that even if it gets claimed, it's just that they're going to push the video out. YouTube will make money from it, but you won't, because the views have been, if anything, the views have been greater than normal videos because of the type of content. So it doesn't really affect me too much at all.
Good.
I've done it more.
That's
times.
good. Yeah. Oh, Volume 1's here.
Welcome,
yeah, and they did a
Volume 1.
reaction to it, so maybe they can give us some insight.
Oh no, they're one of the chosen. They got to see it early. They're more important than us.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so I'll wrap this up. Do y'all have anything else that you wanted to hit on about the live action or about Ratatouille? Apparently.
Oh, well, I'm bringing it back up. We can talk about Ratatouille all day.
We can talk about Ratatouille all day. One more thing for the casting is I think they got Zeph's actor perfect. His name's Craig Fairbrass. He looks exactly like Zeph, 110%.
Yes,
that guy.
And he and Sanji have acted together a couple times.
So this is perfect. This is great. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've played a mentor-mentee relationship, I think, in 2 adaptations or 2 movies before this. So they already have like an amazing relationship and chemistry.
This is perfect then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited for that. I saw the design as well. They nailed Zeph perfectly.
Oh, like, Zeph is 100% Zeph.
Mustache. I'm just like, I needed that. Amazing. I also just thought of the perfect casting for Akainu. And I'm thinking Josh Brolin, right?
Say it again.
Josh Brolin? You don't know Josh Brolin?
Oh my God.
Because I can see it, right? Instead of like monologues about balance, monologues about justice.
I can see that 100%. Yeah.
I can so see that.
Yeah.
It's fun. You didn't watch more. You're not a Marvel movie person, right, Murphy?
I'm not a movie person.
I know.
Okay, well then there you go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I'm not even that big into movies, but like, come on.
She's triggered.
I mean, like, I haven't even watched.
I
haven't
would
watched
like
every
to
MCU or
like
anything,
things.
but
Shows and movies are like the universal, oh, I met a new human. Have you seen this show? No. Conversation over. I promise you I would like to like these things.
I would prefer if I met a new human being. My like, let's talk about some novels or something you've read, honestly, over TVs or books, or I mean TVs or movies or something. Yeah, that would be preferable to me.
That I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's not usually like, I don't know, you meet a new person, like, read anything good recently? People are like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Doesn't work so much.
No.
But
I think
would say
the set
actually
also looks amazing.
Murphy's got a 50-inch TV in her house that's made out of styrofoam.
I do not own a TV.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Sorry.
I need a couple seconds to process that.
What? No, I'm gonna watch the live action. I'm gonna watch it on a laptop, and it's gonna be amazing.
You really don't have a TV.
No.
You know, to cope, part of it isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, right? Because it means that, you know, your mind isn't rotted by the constant television that you absorb.
Oh,
I'm trying to defend you.
No, I get you. No, I get it. And it also explains why you can read so many damn books.
Exactly.
Because I can't. It takes me what are we in August? How many books have you read this year? Ballpark estimate.
I don't know. 100.
All right, I've read 3. So, you know, that's where we're at right now.
I don't know. I would like to like things. I want to like what you like.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of books, though, I did want to say one thing. There was a book that Daniel Green has always recommended. It was Red Rising. And every time I'm in Barnes & Noble, they never have it. And it was in Walmart, of all places, the other day. And I started reading it. And I like it. It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. You should read The Gentleman Bastards instead. Throw Red Rising out the window.
I was going to say, because I saw your reaction as soon as it's like Daniel Green made top 10 books of all time. And it was number 2 on that list.
Listen. Right. Okay.
Gentleman's Bastard.
The Gentleman Bastards. The first book is called The Lies of Locke Lamora. It's my favorite of all time.
Okay.
And book 2 is Pirates.
I think I remember you talking about this once in a video. Yeah.
Yeah. Or in every video I've ever made.
There's so many. Yeah.
So Red Rising is not my favorite. However, the sequels are good. So it's fine. Read it. Enjoy.
Oh, manga counts. Oh, if manga counts, then I've read that. Yeah. I could blitz through a manga volume in 10 minutes. That's not even hard. Yeah.
Jay, how many books have you read this year? How many Jade Cities have you read?
I've read 0 Jade Cities, but I have read 2 books this year.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about your mentor has recommended you a couple good ones.
Mm-hmm. I've read a book called "I'm Okay, You're Okay." Really, really good book. Based on just the psychology of your mind and the 3 personas that you have in your mind: the adult, child, and the parent. Very good book. And then Atomic Habits is also another really, really good book.
I love Atomic Habits.
Love that book. Brilliant book. Yes.
It was really
anybody. Yes.
So
I'd recommend it.
Distilling a lot of information and just making it super practical.
I'm just writing down recommendations at this point.
Yeah. And then, just to feel a part of the club, I'm a big Percy Jackson fan, I love the Percy Jackson books a lot. So is
that's getting an adaptation too.
I was like, is that out? Because I
never read those.
You never read Percy Jackson?
No, when I was in school, I was a Alex Rider and anything by Anthony Horowitz. That was what I always read when I was in school. Yeah, Percy Jackson just kind of missed it for me. I got around to watching reading all the Harry Potter books a couple years ago because I never actually sat down and read all those, which I did. And I'm like, all right, I did that. Let's see. I want to get back into The Way of Kings by Sanderson. I read the prologue of that.
Which one? There's 5.
I know, the first one. Yeah. And so we'll get back to that. But I finished Mistborn, so I'm happy there. Yeah. It's just I'm getting back into reading slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I mean, I think that Way of Kings is a rough starting point, but hey, that's
no,
killer.
this isn't the starting point. Like last couple since I've moved, I've been getting back into reading. So this is like 2 years later. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I got to finish the first Law trilogy. I'm on the 3rd book right now.
Yeah, it's a good trilogy. I think you'll like it. Especially book 1 is fine, but books 2 and 3 are actually quite good.
I love all of them so far. Like it's a really Abercrombie's a really good author. Yeah.
So Red Rising is not. Did you say what? Did I say First Law?
What'd you say?
Did you say First Law and then I responded First Law, but I was thinking Red Rising?
I said I read I'm on the 3rd First Law book right now.
Oh,
and
I'm also
reading.
I love First Law.
And I also am reading Red Rising. I'm kind of doing in parallel right now.
Okay, I got
smart,
the titles,
but that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
No, it's all good. So Abercrombie also has a sequel trilogy,
The
Age of Madness.
Yeah, that one's in the store. I could go buy. I'm running out of space for all my books. Ugh.
Okay, but I actually think that you will love the sequel trilogy to the First Law trilogy. Like, it's so up your alley. It's like French Revolution. It's good. It's really good.
Wow, I love the French Revolution.
Yeah, fun time.
Someone says you read Berserk and One Piece, but you don't like Percy Jackson. I don't know if I've never read anything about Percy Jackson. I don't even know what it's about. Like, so I probably would enjoy it.
So as a kid, I was a Greek mythology. I loved like the Iliad, the Odyssey. Like I used to read all of that as a kid. Yeah. So then when I found out about Percy Jackson, I've never been a book reader, like never. But when I found Percy Jackson, I finished the series. Then I read his Egyptian mythology series.
Oh my God, he has an Egyptian mythology?
Yes, it has. Rick Riordan has an Egyptian mythology. I'll never forget it. Like the Kane Chronicles. Like I love that series. And then after that, they had
wow, that's quite the reaction.
I'm telling you, Tekking it is so worth going back to read it, because to me, I remember as a kid always wishing I was able to read books, and I found these books. They're like 300 pages, and I just sweep through them, and I'm like, wow, I can enjoy reading. Like that was my first experience of like, yo, wow, I know how to read. And then they have another series after the Percy Jackson series where they mix the Roman mythology and the Greek mythology, and they actually collide together. So it's actually really, really cool. It's called Heroes of Olympus. So
I gotta look into this. Oh my God, I didn't know. I love Egyptian mythology. That's my favorite kind. Oh my God.
To be clear, Matt, this is a middle grade series, so it's not going to be the same as like Red Rising, First Law, all that. But
no, it's understandable.
More like Harry Potter speed. But it is really fun.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I was entertained by Harry Potter. I think Mistborn's also a YA, so that's fine. Yeah.
It's not, but that's okay.
It isn't? Okay. I got the impression it was.
Fair enough. It has really weird marketing. Sometimes it's marketed as YA and sometimes it's marketed as
I found they were in the YA department at my Barnes. Like that's where it was.
That's okay. Yeah. I think it works. It works in both categories.
I think it works fine. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, it does. No, you're right.
The Kane.
Oh yeah, Harry Dresden. I actually think that Matt, you would really like the Dresden Files as well.
I've heard a lot of good things about the Dresden Files.
Yeah, it's like a wizard detective. So he's
you had me at wizard detective.
Yeah, wizard detective sounds.
Yeah, no, for real. So it's urban fantasy. Yeah. It's set in this world. There's vampires, there's werewolves, there's demons, like it's all that kind of stuff. And except that you have it's the unseen world. So you have the normies who aren't aware of all this, and when a supernatural murder happens, Harry Dresden steps into the scene, and it's like it's very noir, but I think you would like it a lot, and they're all short.
I love noir.
Noir wizard detective.
Huh.
That's interesting.
They're very short. Everything is like 300 pages. I think you'll like it.
Okay, yeah, I should read those. Yeah, 300 pages I can handle, no problem. Yeah. I'm just running out of space.
Into a book stream.
Nah. If I turn it into a YouTube thing, I like to have things that I could just do on my own time without having it be a YouTube thing. It's like video games. It's like I'm gonna go play Baldur's Gate. Stream it. No, I just want to play it.
Right. There's content creator.
Yeah.
So Tekking, I feel this so heavily because I have not watched Bleach for the last 5 weeks because I'm not allowed to actually watch it on my own. I have to watch it and then put it on Patreon. So I've literally just not.
Yeah, it's just I just want to play a video game, guys. I don't want to stream it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to make content about these books, I will chat with you about these books.
100%. I will message you if I ever like finish like the First Law series or anything like that. And I'm like, want to make a video about that? Sure.
Yes. That would be awesome. But yes, I understand the struggle of, okay, is this content or is this just a hobby?
Yeah, there's a fine line there, and I try to keep it like One Piece is more a business to me than it is like, okay. Yeah.
Does that, okay, I won't keep you much longer, but does that affect your enjoyment of One Piece at all?
No, it doesn't. It's just like, when it comes like, okay, I'm going to read the spoilers for this chapter because I need to be prepared and I know what I want to talk about when I do the review. It's that kind of stuff, you know? And I think One Piece is really the only manga I read spoilers for. I don't read spoilers for anything else. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that, because when you said One Piece is kind of like a business to you, I feel that as well. I think the only difference with me is that I don't go deep into One Piece the way I used to, where I'm like thinking about theories and looking at other videos and be like, oh, what do they think about this? Like, I read One Piece as like a casual fan, but I've read it for so long that I have an extensive knowledge of it. So when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, One Piece. And in the moment the chapter's over, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like immediately. Yeah. It's really odd. I don't know.
I still enjoy the series 100%. I do. It's just that maybe I won't go back and watch for videos. I will, but I don't find myself just sitting around in my room or my living room just being like, I'm gonna put on some One Piece. You know what I mean? Because it's like I do around that all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that makes sense.
like that.
Yeah, because you go so deep into the lore. So for you, it's not just like a chapter review and then you move on. It's a chapter review and then maybe 3 more videos.
It's a chapter review and then 3 more videos unpacking the specific stuff in the chapter.
Yeah, and responding to what people have said and like furthering theories, which is really great for me, because anytime I don't understand what's going on, I'm just like, well, what's Matt have to say about it?
Thank you so much. You watch my stuff. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, of course. When we got the Lulasha thing, and then we saw the hole and like the water pouring down, and then like all that I was like, I don't understand this. Okay, what does Matt say? And I watched like 3 of your videos.
Don't take my word as gospel. I don't know either. I'm just trying to like extrapolate stuff. Yeah,
you had several videos on it, and by the end of watching your videos, I was like, okay, I get it. It's good. We're good.
It's a giant hole in the ocean. I don't know either, but let's find out.
Let's try to figure it out.
Oh man.
Well, thank you both for coming. I appreciate y'all
for having us,
hanging out. Thanks for letting me
made 2 enemies today, but other than that, you know.
What did you say?
You've made 2 new enemies today, but aside from that,
no, Jay was already my enemy.
No, me and Barry.
Oh,
there you go.
Well, I don't have beef with Barry. I like Barry.
Does Barry like you though? I don't know.
Barry was even in the thumbnail. I don't know if you noticed, but he showed up.
I didn't actually see him in there.
That you see the face, he's like very disgruntled. You know what? I just realized, right? Yeah. I looked up the definition of undulating, and it's like a smooth up and down, and it's like his smile is undulating.
It is like it's undulating. Yes, I drew that there specifically before I even knew Murphy existed. I drew that on there. So there you go.
Thank you all for coming to the stream. This has been really fun.
Yeah, I love that time.
I had a great time.
I'm gonna figure out how to call a wasp a bee. Just for you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I guess. I guess that's not going to bother me all that much, probably. I don't know.
I need ammo against you.
Ammo against me.
You just gonna hand me the bullet? All right, let's go.
No, I mean, like, you could just like if you're talking about One Piece or something, you could just change things so it's like it's wrong, but not. It's kind of wrong. I don't know. Like, it just that would kind of annoy me in the back of my head. Stupid. Okay, well there you go. All right then.
Okay. Thank you both for joining me. Thank you everybody in the chat that showed up.
Have a good night, everybody.
This was a fun discussion. Make sure to check out Matt and Jay if you don't Teching and Jay if you don't already follow them, and we will see you some other place, some other time.